can I get some advice on attracting funds without taking out personal loans?
Attracting funds without taking out personal loans. Well, if you have good credit with people, like I could borrow money from a lot of people because I've done business with them, because they know who I am.
The
so I could go,
capital?
yeah, the relationship capital's there. Money can be complicated. Let a nerd help you. We're here to demystify the complex nature of money by getting you answers from financial nerds and whiz kids. Welcome to Ask the Money Nerds, a weekly segment of the Wealth Labs podcast where we answer your most pressing money questions. We have a special episode today of Ask the Money Nerds because we've got a lot of questions, and I'm just going to rapid fire through these instead of giving the extended answer that we do most of the time. So Chief of Staff Stolba has to be on her toes today, although mostly giggly today.
I have been very giggly, but this is going to be fun. We're going to do a lightning round.
You just encourage bad behavior with your laughter, but let's lightning round it. Let's do it.
Okay. So my credit score is 689. It's not too snazzy.
Got to boost it. Got to get it to 760. Okay, that's first answer.
760. Yep. All right. How am I going to read through all of this like this?
You have to go fast.
Okay. If I can nip in the bud my $1,200 credit card and my $3,000 in student loans, I know my credit score will go up. And I just have to work on
3,000 and 1,200. That's total.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, until you hear this, I just have to work on paying off my $18,000 car loan.
Oh, cool. Sell the car, pay off other loans. Hopefully there's equity.
Okay. And he says, I'm having a hell of a hard time finding jobs that earn income that pay me more money. So he's been listening to the Investor DNA, been reading up on our Build newsletter, and he's starting to find out that he doesn't fit anywhere as an employee because he doesn't have the employee mindset, but he's just having a hard time.
So work as an employee during the transition phase, find things that you could do as an independent contractor during your off hours, which is a side hustle. Mm-hmm. Consider selling that car. Hopefully there's equity in it, boost that credit score up. And then all of a sudden you'll have more purchasing power, but don't go purchase consumer type things that cost you. Purchase assets if you're going to do it, but do that side hustle. And then you can transition into your own entrepreneurial venture over time. And that might be that you need to collaborate with other people that already have some infrastructure in existence, or maybe you go buy an existing business that's within your skill set and bring your innovation and ingenuity to that, called acquisition entrepreneurship. Walker Dybell talks about that in Buy Then Build. Mm-hmm. So it's really time to kind of reinvent the game, because there wasn't a job for me either. So I had to create the job that I wanted, but I kind of started out as a hybrid where I worked inside of an organization that had certain infrastructure, and then I eventually pivoted out of that. So from 1998 to 2001, I was a field representative for Guardian. And then from 2001 and on, I created my own firm with 3 other partners, Ingenuity. We collaborated because we all had different skill sets. And then we started to do our own thing. Mm-hmm. So look to that. All right.
Great. Last part of Milen's question is, can I get some advice on attracting funds without taking out personal loans?
Attracting funds without taking out personal loans. Well, if you have good credit with people, like I could borrow money from a lot of people, because I've done business with them, because they know who I am. So I could go, capital. The relationship capital's there. To say that you're going to attract those funds, well, what's your plan? How are you going to create cash flow? Like, people that do it on Kickstarter and Indiegogo have an actual plan that people fund up front for those products to be built. So is that something that you could do? Do you have something that would be valuable to them? Because that's probably the easiest way to attract it, is find a way that you could benefit them and deliver value to them.
Mm-hmm. Great. So next question is from Shane.
Okay.
Self-employed and real estate is where my retirement is at. What are your feelings on a 1031 exchange? Every investment he's made has lost money.
If every investment you've made has lost money, and I don't know if that includes real estate, it's time to stop investing. Cash out, put it into cash flow banking, stabilize. Sure, you're not going to get huge returns, maybe 5%, but they're tax advantaged. And 5% positive is a lot better than negative returns. And so just work on making money with your skill set. Stop trying. It's like Jerry Seinfeld said in one of his episodes of Seinfeld. He goes, I send my money out to work and I found out my money was lazy and it came back with less. So if that's the case, stop investing, or short sell every idea that you ever have when it comes to investing, which means it's going to tank and you make money when it tanks. So if it's really literally every investment, you better figure out your investor DNA, stop hemorrhaging money, and put it where it's safe and secure and stable, like cash flow banking.
Okay. So what's a 1031 exchange?
It's rolling one piece of real estate to another piece of real estate.
And what are your feelings on that?
It's fine if it's the right piece of real estate. It just means you're not going to pay tax because you've exchanged it for a like kind exchange. So a similar type of real estate, maybe it's got more value, maybe it's going to be more profitable. But in real estate, Find out, can it cash flow from day one? Can you make money on the buy because you buy it at a deeper discount because someone's distressed? Like, these are the things you have to become a better investor and a more informed investor. Don't speculate. Don't chase what everybody else is doing, because that greed that sends people there, they get in too late, and then the tipping point happens and they start losing money. And so when we're governed by emotions with our investing, it's a really risky place.
Okay. Maurice is next, number 3 here.
Okay.
He's a founder and pastor of a 70-member, 26-year-old church. He's 67 years old. He gets $37,000 in an annual salary as a pastor with no retirement plan. He does have $50,000 in a traditional IRA account, and he also gets $2,000 per month with Social Security. So his wife, who's 43, they've raised children. They're coming up into a different season of life. But what do you recommend that he does to improve his present financial state?
Get 140 members instead of 70. Double that membership. I mean, honestly, there's $50,000 in an IRA. That's basically a year and a half's income with what he's currently doing. If the kids are raised, I don't know if there's something that his wife wants to do that might increase income. I don't know enough about them to say that for sure, but I know that now that my kids are 12 and 14, my wife's starting to look to do things again to start earning an income. She's done some podcasts recently. She's spoke at a couple events and getting invited to more. She's writing a book, right, which has a lot to do with being married to an entrepreneur, money and marriage, and how to work in that. And then, this kind of legacy type of thing that we've done with the kids. So are there some options there? Because I think it's about making more money. It's not about, at that age, you're not going to be able to fund a retirement plan. The retirement plan has to be retire into something you love. As a pastor, hopefully that's something that's the case. What would it take to increase that membership? What would it take to get more people that are attending and, tithing and those kind of things would be my advice.
Is there anything that he can do to transition that $50,000 in his IRA that would grow it faster?
He's in a pretty low tax
bracket
bracket at this point. Investing, I mean, 50 grand isn't a ton of money to go out there and invest. And the question is, what would he know about? What would he be able to invest in that makes sense? I mean, is there something that he could expand in the church that would be helpful? Maybe it's too small and they need, more bandwidth. Maybe it's skill sets around marketing. I mean, it really has to be not just some passive investment that you put it in some real estate trust or in some stock market or mutual fund thing, but more in like, what are your skill sets that $50,000 could be seed capital for to be able to increase the impact, increase the income, or maybe it's even investing into his spouse. Because right now my wife's going to be going to, how to deliver speeches better with with Michael Port and trainings and we went to a 2-day book writing workshop that was phenomenal with scribes. So these are the things that you might consider, which aren't normally traditional investments, but they're more about investing in yourself.
Okay. Number 4 comes in from Tommy. I'm a very small business owner. I have a 20-year mortgage. He's paid off 6 already. Do you have advice on how to pay off the mortgage as soon as possible? We have a long video on a mortgage that people can check out.
People get upset about that video. And we just wrote an article for Forbes that is coming out on how to pay off a mortgage. So one is, there's a concept called velocity banking where you use a home equity line of credit. And what you do is you pay that down with all of your income, and then you charge everything on a credit card for 30 days, and then you pay off the credit card with your home equity line of credit. And what it does is it floats the bank's money. So over time, it starts to pay that down faster. Another thing that you could do is you could refinance to an interest only or refinance to a 30-year mortgage. You could take the difference in payment of what you're paying now versus what you'd be paying then and put that into cash flow banking, cashflowbanking.com. I'm paying 4% on my mortgage. I've been earning 5.32% on my cash value. That means I can write a check and pay it off all at once. Plus I'm maximizing my tax advantages. I don't know what that word was, but I'm maximizing my tax advantages, which isn't the main reason I do it. I'm keeping control of my money, and I can pay that off all in one swoop if I choose to. I don't know if he plans on staying in this home for the next, 15 years or however long, 14 years he has left on it. You could recast the mortgage where all of a sudden it lowers the payments with the existing term, because right now he's paying extra. That's shortening the term on the mortgage, but it's not lowering the payment. So, he's ending up with money in equity jail. But if you can earn more than what you're paying, you're better off earning more and saving that on the side. But don't speculate. Don't take a bunch of risk. Then you get the tax advantages along the way. Or you can consider velocity banking, which is using home equity line of credit and kind of floating the money that way. So those are a couple options to do.
I love it. Okay.
All right, Stoba, last question.
Okay, here we go. This comes in from Creased. My company is currently making profits. How should I break them? For example, what percentage of the profit should I get as an owner or as a dividend? What percentage should I allot for marketing, business improvements, budget for employee trainings?
Well, look, I think it's important to take a salary. A lot of business owners don't. And because they don't take a salary, businesses have insatiable appetites. They consistently just gobble that money up and use it because there's always more initiatives, processes, technology, marketing that you could put cash into. But at least if you're getting a salary, that's the first step. The second step is pay yourself whatever you would pay someone else in your firm. So if I do sales, I want to get paid the same commission or more as anyone else in the firm, right? If I do activity where I'm generating leads that is outside of the firm with my own efforts, I want to make sure I'm getting paid. Otherwise, that money gets gobbled up inside. So salary plus whatever you would pay someone else to do something, you pay yourself for. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the money could be left towards marketing and other things like that. But I don't budget marketing. If we put $1 in, and we get more than $1 back, let's keep doing that. Let's not limit that, right?
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money on marketing at Wealth Factory, and we're consistently looking at what is our return on ad spend. When we do that, hey, can we up that right now because it's super effective, or should we lower it and revisit the campaign because it's not doing quite as well?
Yeah, it's a frequent conversation you and the partners have.
Yes, and our marketing team is looking at it on a daily basis, right? To adjust, to modify, to completely change. So it's really about some degree of salary, and you can look and see what's a reasonable salary for what you're doing. If you're to hire someone else, take at least that, and then put distributions based upon the commissions that you might pay someone else in your firm, whether that's for, in our firm, coaching or sales or, those types of things. I made sure to pay myself when I was doing those things, because when I didn't, it just evaporated into the black hole called business. All right. We answered a lot of questions here, kind of a varied shotgun round. And hopefully that gives you, some of these apply to you or to someone you know. If you've got questions, go to askthemoneynerds.com. And if you want some resources, you can text 44222 and you put in the subject line, wealthier. And what do you get? Killing Sacred Cows. Go ahead and download that book. What would the Rockefellers do? Download that book. A cash flow guide. You can download that. A cybersecurity to make sure that you're not, getting all your data taken from you or all those issues. Like, there's some killer resources. And what does it cost you? A little bit of time. Give us your contact info so we can stay in touch with you. Every, 7 times a month, we typically send out an email. Every 7th email, we're usually saying, here's something you could buy if you want to buy more. And we'll do that for about 7 months. And then it really lowers in frequency. But it's really a way to help people get financially and economically independent and free. So if that's something that's of interest to you, you want a little bit more depth to what we're talking about here today, go ahead and text 44222. I know it's only 5 numbers, and sometimes isn't it usually 801-777-7777? Well, yeah, this is just 44222, wealthier in the subject line, and you'll go ahead and get a mega kit of value to add into your financial life.